This is my 2-year review of my $70,000 mistake here.
Nearly 20% of all new vehicle buyers in Q2 of this year committed to monthly payments of $1,000 or more.
So I pay like $1,300 a month. I just can't afford the car anymore.
So today we're going to be taking a look at people who honestly just regret buying their car. A pretty straightforward video and will hopefully help de-influence you if you're looking at purchasing a vehicle right now. The high car payments, the regular maintenance, the repair costs that will inevitably come with it if you purchase a modern car are honestly just getting to be too much. We have a ton of stuff to look at today, along with comments from you guys from previous videos. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave it in the comments down below. But let's just jump right into this.
I just got a brand new Jeep Wagoneer. It has literally less than 3,000 miles. I think it has 2,700 miles on it, and it's already in the shop. I went on a road trip to Houston. That's 3 hours away. Not that crazy. And while we were on the way back, the check engine light came on. And then I took it in. There's something wrong with the brakes too, and there's a bunch of recalls on it. So I got a loaner car. It's a Wagoneer, the electric one, the Wagoneer S. Love the red leather interior, and it's fully loaded, all the bells and whistles, has 2,600 miles on it, and the check electrical light just came on. So now I have to return my brand new loaner car. I've had it for less than 24 hours to the Jeep dealership, and they still don't know what's wrong with my car.
So when the loaner car starts to break down right away, you know you're in trouble. It is also interesting to see how many people love red interiors, and as crazy as it sounds, can be one of the deciding factors on purchasing a vehicle like the Grand Wagoneer that's $80,000, instead of actually taking a look at the reliability, the maintenance costs, and all the other problems that go into it. So we can look at some of the comments. This surprises nobody. Why do people keep buying Jeeps? Do you not watch the app of all the horrible reviews of this vehicle? So I mean, if you're not a huge car person, I totally understand. Hopefully these types of videos can shed a light to a lot of people who don't really know about all the issues with a lot of vehicles, so you won't get into the same situation as that woman, both cars having issues when they're basically brand new. A comment from you guys goes very similar to what I just said. People are willing to go almost $100,000 in debt for a car and spend countless hours of their life working to pay off that loan, but won't take 5 minutes to research which cars are junk. I do think one of the positives, if you do decide to look it up on TikTok, after you search up a particular vehicle's issues, look at a couple of videos, the algorithm will start showing you tons of different videos on your For You page. So it could broaden your horizons a little bit, showing you a lot of the issues, especially when we're talking about modern vehicles. But unfortunately, there are many who don't even take that first step. They just jump right in and spend apparently $70,000 on a Ford Explorer.
This is my 2-year review of my $70,000 mistake here, purchasing this vehicle in 2023 just because I needed a vehicle, and then walking in and letting them play with the numbers for me. Since the 2-year warranty is up, I started doing all the maintenance myself, and so one thing I noticed right off the bat was that my cabin air filter was filthy, so they hadn't changed it in the 2 years we've had it. This right here is already starting to change the color. It's making me angry. Several pieces of chip paint within the first 5,000 miles, and I brought it up and they told me that the paint was not under warranty. They also told me by Ford specs they were allowed to have these all over the car.
I mean, there's tons of issues. The paint chipping already, the dealership not actually doing maintenance, like the cabin air filter being filthy, and of course not looking at the interest rate, how much you're actually going to pay in the end. $70,000 for a Ford Explorer, even if it was the top of the line trim, is just absolutely brutal. But up next we have kind of a two-parter talking about a very popular vehicle over the past 5 years, the Kia Telluride.
Tell me what you got.
The Kia has about 47,000 miles on it right now. Bought it for around 39,000, 12,000 rolled over actually. And then I added warranty to the car too, so
just a mere 12,000, right? Rolling over into
I know it's crazy. I know. I added warranty and out the door it almost ended up being like 60K. But my mom, she was able to co-sign for me with like 15% interest. So I pay like $1,300 a month. I just can't afford the car anymore. I broke up with my man and I need something cheaper, and I saw the 2018 Toyota Highlander, and I mean, since our last conversation, I've been seeing you on TikTok and I learned so much from you, and I really just wanted to call again to see if we could work together because, yeah, I need to find something cheaper.
So at least this person knew that they made a huge mistake and they want to go to a Toyota Highlander that's a little bit older. The 12 grand of negative equity to start, most likely not having great credit. If they needed a cosigner that still had 15% interest rate, you're paying 60 grand for a Kia Telluride, which I don't have to tell you, if you watched my videos, have a plethora of problems as well. 15% interest is insane for a Telluride. $1,300 a month for any car is insane. I mean, again, I am glad that she watched this creator who does a lot of this type of content, and she realized that she's in a very bad spot, cannot afford it anymore. So she's trying to change her ways, but nonetheless is going to end up losing a lot of money.
It's crazy seeing these cars come in on trade-in, like that Bronco and this Kia Telluride, that a couple years ago people were paying $10,000, $15,000 over a sticker for these. And now it's just another beat up used car after a heavy detail. This car will be on our lot for like low to mid 20 grand range. You could come in 0 down and buy this car for like $400 a month. And it's a 2020 with 65K on it. So it's really not even that old of a car. I mean, people were literally on a wait list for 6 months waiting for them cars just to pay 10 grand over sticker for them.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the way they look. Overall, they do look better than most Kias, I will say. But this was another one of the vehicles lumped into paying over asking, apparently being on wait lists as well during COVID. It was the new nice mom SUV you could be rolling around your kids. Apparently that was worth $50,000, $60,000. And then within a couple of years, you're probably seeing them at around 20, 25, let alone any of the possible maintenance issues you could have with it. But one of the arguments that I see all the time when people are talking about new versus used vehicles is that somebody ended up buying an old beater that needed a ton of maintenance, everything was breaking down, and they don't want to be in that same situation again. So they're going to buy something brand new. They don't want any issues, which I mean, I do understand, but especially when we're talking about today's vehicles, that doesn't mean you're not going to have problems as well. We have a clip up on screen right now. When you've been traumatized by used cars, so you go get a 2024 and $40,000 in debt, and the check engine light still comes on barely a year after you get it. So even after putting yourself in the hole $40,000, you're still dealing with reliability issues in the end. We can look at some of the comments that bring up another good point. The top comment, if you aren't a car person, buy a Toyota, which I do understand and agree with, but the next comment also makes a very good point. I hate the buy a Toyota comments. It's gotten to Toyota's head. They're now charging a premium, which I do agree with also. I'm pretty sure they just unveiled the new 4Runner TRD Pro, and I believe the MSRP starts at like $65,000 or $67,000. And then I also got recommended on my For You page a Toyota dealership near me, and they had one for sale that was about 75 grand. I guess that means they still have dealer markups some places, but if you do want to get a Toyota, especially something new now, you are going to pay quite a bit of money. I mean, even the used market as well. Very difficult to find a good deal when it comes to those brands. You could lump in Honda as well. It's just getting harder and harder to afford any vehicle in today's world. But we could go over to a simple screenshot. This day financially ruined my life, and it's him signing on the dotted line for his new car. And we could go right over to the comments. I will never finance a vehicle ever again in my life. Me with my Jeep Compass, $610 a month. It's okay, bro. It's 2025. We're all signing our lives away for these cars. And that's why there's unlimited content online when we're talking about high car payments or issues with modern vehicles. People are still purchasing. Plus insurance, I eat water and ice, salt and tomatoes. Paid $2,000 a month with insurance. It's better to go the repo route. And you could lump that into the repossession videos that I make consistently. As I get older, I realize how ridiculous it is to buy a new car. Bro, I'm paying $1,200 a month. Ugh. And the vehicle's not even going to last as long as you think. We have a comment from one of you guys. Anyone remember when we were growing up, our parents didn't buy new cars every 3 to 5 years. They bought one every 15 to 20. Same thing with appliances, washers, dryers, refrigerators. They lasted for years and years. Companies got smart and started making junk products that won't last long. I agree with that. Hence the company profit goes up and we, the consumer, get screwed. They're banking off of our ego and their marketing teams that are top tier. Your whole personality's wrapped up in what kind of vehicle you drive. Oh, you got a Mercedes or BMW? You must be rich. Nice big lifted giant pickup trucks. For the the tough working man, even though they're financing a $90,000 vehicle they probably can't afford. I mean, we have a prime example right here. You look happier. Thanks. I was sad and went to trade my car in for the 3rd time this year. How much negative equity are we rolling in this time? Bought a new car 6 months ago and I'm already ready to trade it in. It doesn't feel like me. You know, vehicles were primarily made to go from point A to point B, but as I just said, it needs to be your entire personality now, and you wonder why we see people in 5 figures worth of negative equity constantly. And real quick, we have a couple of the clips of people regretting buying electric vehicles. Again, it's like there's zero research that goes into actually purchasing any of these vehicles. They want it and immediately go buy it, and then after that they realize it's not like owning a normal gas car.
We had a young kid that loved a car, bought it, drove home to another state, called us the next day and had buyer's remorse. And in the car business, you buy a car, you drive it away, deal's done. So I'm gonna call him to just figure this thing out. You've been talking to everybody and your dad's called in. I figured I'd take a turn and work something out, man. I don't want you to feel like we're not taking care of you, but I also want to make sure that we're being treated fairly. I don't think you need to be in a bad spot. I don't think we need to be in a bad spot. Did you just like, oh crap, I shouldn't have bought an electric car?
The car is great. I love the car. There's nothing wrong with it except for the charging. That it's a deal breaker for me, honestly. I don't have my own home. I live in an apartment, so there's no way to charge at my house. My parents don't want to put one because they don't have any electric vehicles, and then I don't want to stop every hour and a half and charge my car for 30 minutes when I could just fill it up in 10 and get triple the range.
I would initially say that this has to be some sort of bait video for engagement until you see video after video with these kinds of examples.
Why didn't anybody tell me that you have to pay to charge your electric car? Hold on. Yo, I did not know that we was paying to charge these cars. And I know to some people that might sound crazy, but for me, I was just like, what's the benefit of having an electric car if you also gotta pay to charge it? Is it like emissions? Is that the biggest thing? Saving our environment? Mind you, the car was discharged 3 days ago.
The lights are on, but no one's home. Gas isn't free, why would electricity be? I blame the public school system. It really just doesn't stop.
The most annoying thing about having an electric car isn't actually charging the car. It's the fact that even if you charge the car all the way, you're only gonna have like half as much mileage range as you would in a normal car.
It's almost as if they show the range of each one of these vehicles when you purchase it. I don't have a problem with electric cars personally. I still think it'll take time to do research and improve the batteries even more and increase the range to be able to outpace any of the gas vehicles. You get 500 or 1,000 miles, you know, that'd be amazing. Hopefully we would get there someday, but right now you're kind of sitting at around anywhere from 200 to maybe 400 miles. And that's an estimate. If you're in a colder climate, it'll be much less as well. But I guess a good amount of people purchasing don't do any of that kind of research and basically have to learn the hard way after they spent 5 figures on that car.
We have a Porsche customer that's using a little bit too much gas on DoorDash. They're looking to return their car, I guess. That's not necessarily something we typically do, but we'll see if we can make something happen for this guy. I didn't expect him to hit me with that. Yeah, I don't even know what to say there.
Me and my wife, we bought that Porsche on from me yesterday.
Okay, yeah. How you guys liking it so far?
Man, is there a way we can return this thing, or maybe we could swap it out for something else?
Swap it out for something else? What do you mean? What happened?
Well, there's nothing wrong with the car, nothing like that. The only thing is, you know, I've been using it for DoorDash last night, then today the morning, but man, it just used too much gas, man.
For your Porsche?
Yeah. The Macan that we just bought yesterday, I don't think it's gonna work out.
In regards to that, honestly, there's not much I can do there. I don't want to leave you in a bad spot, but work with me and I'll try to work with you. Is
honestly, man, we can't figure something out. I think I'm gonna just return it then.
But how return the vehicle for what? You guys traded in your other vehicle, so how would we go about that?
I don't even know.
Before I say anything about it, we can look at the comments. Door dashing in a Porsche is wild. People really need to make better financial decisions and quit worrying about what other people think of them. I mean, my thoughts exactly right there. Why are people using high-end cars for delivery services? Because they care about what people think of them. I think it's amazing asking, he qualified to finance a Porsche working DoorDash. Well, Porsche Macans are not nearly as expensive as people think, especially if you buy it used. The depreciation is brutal. A 2020 Porsche Macan right here I could see is $39,000. A 2015 Macan S is only $17,000. I see another 2020 for $29,000 right here. 2017 for $24,000. I mean, of course, if you buy it brand new, it's going to be much more expensive, but people want the Porsche badge on the front and back of the car, even though he realized very quickly that premium gas is going to be much more expensive while he's working all day doing DoorDash, and had buyer's remorse within 24 hours. That's just insane. And this isn't even a one-off clip either. Here's another one. Customer wants to back out completely of the car deal he bought 2 days ago. So this one, instead of it being a Porsche, was a BMW, so we could look at some of the comments. FYI, always check insurance before you buy a car. It's part of the expense. That could go with the Macan. Everybody wants to be big time in a BMW until they realize it's for big timers. $15,000 in negative equity and proceeds to buy an M4. Oh man. And as we're on the topic with the dealerships, we could take a look at the most recent data for car payments.
This is insane. Nearly 20% of all new vehicle buyers in Q2 of this year committed to monthly payments of $1,000 or more. That's nearly 1 in every 5 buyers, which is a record high. We also saw more extended loan terms in the second quarter of this year, with 22.4% of new vehicle loans being stretched for 84 months or longer, which is also a record high, up from 17.6% just a year ago. And sure, I get it, the longer-term loan does help lower monthly payments, but it also increases how much interest you pay over time. It greatly increases your risk of being upside down on that loan, making it extremely difficult to get out of. It's usually not ideal. Car buyers are also putting less money down, they're financing at higher rates, and let's be honest, just for a second, in many cases, buyers are buying way more car than they even need. According to a recent analysis from Edmunds, the average monthly new car payment right now is $756 a month, and the average term is just shy of 70 months. On the used car side of things, the average monthly payment is $559 per month, with the average term also just shy of 70 months. How long before $1,000 a month is just the normal payment?
Well, there are a lot of car dealership videos that are trying to make that $1,000 monthly payment something that's almost a good deal. I have a $1,500, $2,000 car payment, so $1,000 isn't that much. Even the data from the used market being $550 and 70 months, I don't want to hear that argument either anymore. When we would initially see very high car payments in the 4 figures like that, I would see people arguing, oh, they must be doing it for a very short term, 24 months, 36 months. And now we're seeing the average 70 months and 84 being much more popular. Something to also add on to that, the comment here, people financing for 84 months are doing so at 14 to 17%, which is bonkers. Again, not even talking about the car insurance that goes with it, or something that we're about to see, the maintenance and repair costs. We have a comment from one of you guys to anyone considering a Mercedes-Benz. If you can't afford the repair cost right now, then you shouldn't buy the car. Let's just take a look at this BMW.
Y'all, somebody pinch me, like pinch me. Let me put on my shades because I can't be taken serious at this moment, y'all, before I start crying. So, just got my battery done, right? My front and my back brakes are also going out. Front brakes, $3,500, $11.40. Back brakes, $2,500, $13.96. I could have those backwards. All in all, $5,500. I want to rip this up. So I guess I won't be going anywhere that requires me to use my brakes. Come on, baby.
I would also like to add that that looks to be a BMW X2, so kind of low on the totem pole when you're talking about SUVs and you're still paying $6,000 for brakes, let alone the battery. But if you want that BMW, no matter if it's the highest trim or the base model, you're going to be paying these types of prices to keep it alive. Everybody wants to be boss bae until it's time to pay.
All right, quick update on my truck. It is a 2025 Ram 1500 e-torque. It's a lemon for 2 separate issues. It's been to the shop 11 times. I've had it for a year. It doesn't have 10,000 miles on it yet. It's been to the shop 4 times for this engine noise. And I picked it up yesterday, and I think at this point they're honestly just replacing random parts to try and figure out what's causing the noise. So this time it got 2 new drive belts, and they ordered a new water pump because The manager said that the tech thought he heard a bad bearing in the water pump. So that's been ordered along with the new alternator. I do have a new alternator on, but it's like the connection is broken. So it's on there with zip ties right now because they had to reorder it. So yeah, I'm waiting for those two parts to come in. I have to take it back for that. I haven't heard the noise, but I've only driven it twice. And usually like after I get it back, it takes a few times of me driving it, for the noise to come back. So we'll see if they actually fix it this time. I don't know. I'm not optimistic.
That sounds like an absolute great time. It goes in the shop basically monthly since you bought it. I mean, I don't know how much worse it could get. It definitely sounds like a lemon to me. And we could take a look at the caption for this video. I miss the 4Runner. If you're talking about the older versions of it, that's why it's so popular. Maybe it's not the best gas mileage, but overall the reliability is much better than a 2025 Ram. Up next, we have another one of somebody trying to flex with the luxury cars paying an ungodly amount of money until they realize that they just can't pay it anymore.
Hey, Yusuf brother, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm calling about that Mercedes W and the BMW
M850.
M850, okay, M850i. Tell me what you got.
So I have these two cars, right? I'm paying $5,000 a month, Yusuf. I'm tired of paying $5,000, right? I think I can get something much better than $5,000. I know I'm overpaying. The stupidity that I did, I actually found a local blower because I needed a car at that time. And I was not being smart with my decision. So I bought, I leased the car locally in California. That's the worst mistake I did, to be honest.
So this is a very long clip with him rambling, blaming California a lot for these vehicle choices. I don't really know how that ties in that much, but an 8 Series BMW and a S-Class Mercedes, $5,000 a month. I think the only thing that's worse than those payments is him realizing how much those vehicles depreciated when he tries to sell them or give them back, trade in, anything along the lines of that, because especially those two vehicles love to immediately tank in price as soon as you drive it off the lot. $5,000 a month will get you a $700,000 mortgage, and now he's got two luxury vehicles that he regrets getting in the first place. He keeps blaming California as if he doesn't insist on making the worst decisions. I'm not sure where he lives in California, but if he lives around the LA area with some of the wealthiest people on the planet, would probably have a big role in him spending $5,000 a month to look like he's super rich. Bro, I feel bad for you have to sit and listen to this dude rambling. So it really seemed like he was trying to make excuses along with knowing that he made bad financial decisions. Just a mess of a situation. But here we could go over to a very different way of buyer's remorse. Somebody just committing fraud after they got repoed because they couldn't make the payments.
Your car was repoed, but now you want to say that the monthly payments that you made for 3 years are fraudulent? What do y'all be thinking? $521 is your monthly payment for your vehicle, and you're saying that because the vehicle was repoed that the transactions are fraudulent and you don't owe that money? You filed a claim of $521 for the last 2 years, saying that the transactions are fraudulent. You don't know what the payment is for. You don't know who this finance company is. But in the first sentence, you said that your car was repoed over the weekend. How does that make sense? But then had the audacity to say that the vehicle had been repoed 4 other times and you didn't know that any additional payments were going to be due. You don't know the definition of fraud. If you couldn't afford the vehicle, baby, that's all that you had to say. But don't report it as being fraudulent because you were irresponsible and not paid your note. Baby, you need to take that up with your finance company. We aren't going to report these transactions as being fraudulent because you authorized it and now you're trying to look for some money. Claim is denied.
It's amazing to think that people could try to claim a chargeback or that they didn't recognize the transactions from their credit card and it would just magically give them all of their money back. That's how easy it is. Clearly, they're going to look into this, and now there are people who do this for a living. So yeah, you're not going to get that $500 a month back. Very interesting story, but wouldn't doubt that they have some buyer's remorse. Some of the comments, I couldn't be a fraud analyst or investigator ever again in my life because the things people would do voluntarily, like pull money from an ATM, then call it fraud, even though you have the bank's cameras and it's clearly them. Payments are fraud because of a repo. You drove the car for 3 years. That is a new one though. I have not seen that kind of fraud making these videos.
Big yikes, guys. Tesla's now accepting Cybertruck trade-ins, except the owners are bleeding money on these deals. One owner bought theirs for $127,000 8 months ago, drove it less than 9,000 miles, and now Tesla is generously offering him $78,000. That's almost $50,000 of lost value in 8 months, and less than 9,000 miles. That's 38% depreciation. And this is why I tell people, let other people take the hit on depreciation and you go buy a used car that's at least a few years old in cash. So Elon, good thing you left the White House. Now you can focus on your own house.
So this is one that's almost universally hated. I mean, most people just ended up buying it because it looks so odd. It wasn't that great being a pickup truck. It just looked like a wedge, like a trash can. And now people are paying the price, losing $50,000 just to be different and be weird, to impress other people, and can't really say I didn't see this coming.
I have a Toyota Sequoia TRD Pro. I thought it was the best purchase of my life, okay? Until yesterday, when I had to go buy 4 tires and an alignment and spent $2,000 for rubber? Oh, because I need off-road tires for I don't even go off-road. I don't even go off-road. It's okay. I'll be fine.
Okay, so before I say anything, let's look at the description and the comments. Being an adult sucks sometimes. Hashtag adulthood, Sequoia TRD Pro, off-road, not funny, and SUV. So why did you buy the TRD Pro if you don't off-road? Should have bought a platinum or limited 2-wheel drive. The creator responds, I would never. I only want the best. Well, then that comes with a heavy maintenance bill, regardless if it's a Toyota or Mercedes-Benz. With these sort of MSRPs, you're going to pay a lot for everything. If you don't know, the MSRP for these TRD Pros are around $80,000 to $85,000. And that's exactly what the next comment says. $85,000 for an SUV, that's fine. Spending $2,000 on tire and alignment, not alright. You do know that there are other trim levels of Toyota Sequoia much cheaper than a TRD Pro, which is designed to go off-road. I don't want the basic trim. She says it over and over again. Why'd you buy the off-road trim? It's the most expensive one. I like the best, not realizing more stuff comes along with it. I'm just a girl. Oh man. This, me thinking I was cute in my Jeep until I needed new tires. Why didn't anyone tell us this? And why do these tires not last long? Because the off-road tires sitting on pavement 24/7 grind them down way faster. I don't really know how to help in this case. She only gets the best of the best, but then complains about everything else that comes along with it. Oh man, well, let's just move on.
Bought the first generation of the Ford Maverick hybrids. I'm not gonna say that it was a total regret, but honestly, it's given us so many issues. Let's just start with all of the good things that we like about it. I like the gas mileage, obviously, because it's like insane. It gets like 40 miles to the gallon. It is like a cute little truck. I feel like it's nice for like being a work truck. Obviously, it's like low to the ground, so it's not gonna be like you're doing anything crazy with it. You're not gonna be like towing a boat or anything with this one, but it's just nice because it was like 20 grand and that was it. For a brand new truck, it can't go wrong. It has definitely given us lots of issues though, like a ton of recalls. Babe, do you know how many recalls it's given us?
Like 6. It's ridiculous. The backup camera's frozen. It's been stuff with the hybrid system, stuff with the airbags, the seat belts. I mean, it's like nonstop. Plus, it's just everything's made very, very cheap in this car.
Hence, yeah, the price was only 20 grand though for a brand new truck. So, I mean, you kind of get what you pay for. He said it is made kind of cheap. Like, things are just not lasting. Like the steering wheel, this, and it's really only been 3 years, which is a little bit crazy.
20 grand, 40 miles per gallon, you've had 6 things fixed for free. None of these are negatives, by the way. However, it just shows the lack of quality with this vehicle. What is it going to look like down the line, if it even lasts that long? Yes, in today's world, that price is very cheap, but clearly these are the type of issues that come with it. You're not going to be getting 40 miles to a gallon if the hybrid system is constantly having problems. You won't be driving the thing, period, if you have to keep going back to the dealership for some recalls. The steering wheel already being worn down, along with the leather, probably fake leather. At only 3 years old, what is it going to look like at 10 or 15? And this is just my personal opinion. I know people go above and beyond when they're talking about work trucks. They get some F350 dually when they're barely doing anything that requires it, spending 6 figures while doing it also. But if you've ever seen what the Ford Maverick looks like in person, it is very small, even comparing it to a Tacoma. So if you do have to use it to haul some pretty heavy items often, it might not be the truck for you. But we could look at some more comments. Its older cousin would never. The Ford Ranger. Buying a first-gen car never ends well. You kind of are the guinea pig most of the time. And we have a comment from you guys right here. Worst mistake ever was paying $70,000 on a full-size SUV that's only worth $30,000 now. Well, we could take a look at another clip right here of somebody regretting their vehicle and losing 20 grand because of it.
Calling a customer on his 2019 Dodge Hellcat. He wants to sell
You got this 2019 Dodge Charger with 44,000 miles, right?
Yeah, 44, almost 45, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about it, man. Like, what are you looking to get for it?
I shouldn't have bought it. I mean, I wanted it, but I shouldn't have bought it because my daughter's going to college, my son's going to college. It's not that I can't afford it. It's just I like to get rid of it because the payment's a lot and I can save some more to help put the money away for them. But I owe 70 on it. I know you probably can't give me that. I just need to know how close you can get to help me so I can not put much down to pay the difference to get rid of it.
What are your monthly payments on it?
$1,245.
And when did you buy it?
February 16th of this year.
Oh, wow, man. Okay. It's not the wide body, so that's something that's going against you, man. 45,000 miles, no accidents. So I got MMR pulled up and also AccuTrade. I can do a solid, like, 48 on it, 49.
All right.
Him just saying, all right, losing 20 grand because he wanted to get out of a $1,200 car payment. Those Dodges have so many people in a chokehold. It's unreal. I seriously don't know how anybody walks away with a payment like that. It's ridiculous. It's almost my mortgage payment. And we got another comment from you guys. Here's your reminder. If you're planning to buy anything, products are terrible today, especially with those modern vehicles.
Do not buy an Audi SQ5. I've had a 2025 SQ5 for about 2 weeks. Within 24 hours, I was already having sensor alarms. It wouldn't go into park. It was just like 7-8 alarms all at the same time. Over the last 2 weeks, I've spent 8+ hours at Audi, still not able to link the digital key, still not being able to figure out why all of these alarms are going off all the time. They've done an update. Honestly, love the aesthetics. Absolutely obsessed with the aesthetics in this car. I will actually stitch in like a night view of the car. Aesthetics are just chef's kiss, but sensor wise, like software issue, just not worth it for the price.
And that's how they get so many people in today's world. I love the aesthetics of the car, which means I like the way it looks. It's nice and fancy. It's got the Audi logo. It's an SQ5, not even a Q5. Other people are going to be even more impressed. However, the actual car is a total nightmare. And we'll take a look at the starting MSRP. 2025 Audi SQ5 starts at around $64,800 for base model trim, up to $67,000 and over $70,000 depending on options. I highly doubt that this was an absolute base model and you're still having all of these problems. Audi and Volkswagen are junk. Don't buy an Audi, that's it. Anyone who knows anything about cars knows how terrible they are. I think recently Audi's been taking a hit regardless because about 10 years ago, their whole vehicle lineup looked pretty nice comparing it to BMW and Mercedes-Benz, but they haven't really changed that much since. And clearly the quality hasn't gotten any better, and unfortunately she's dealing with the consequences.
What is a vehicle that people buy and then secretly won't admit that they don't like?
Cheap Wrangler. They're cool looking, so they want to look cool. They're driving it, but it's not worth it. They are not reliable at all.
What car do people secretly regret buying but won't admit it?
Maybe like an Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeos are great, but when that maintenance bill hits, dude, they're crying.
What about you?
I think people haven't done their research on electric. They usually will not be prepared for road trips or how fast electricity goes down. If they don't have a way to charge it at all, they'll regret it real fast.
Okay, so the first two I do agree with. The Jeeps, the Wranglers look cool, nice off-road looking vehicles, but even just the tires like the first clip. Replacing those are not going to be cheap, along with the plethora of other issues. Same with the Alfa Romeo. I personally think the Giulia is a very nice looking car. However, I would never get one because of the lack of reliability, on top of how much it costs to fix it. But then the last one, we've had entire dedicated videos on this channel talking about electric cars. It is truly insane some of the owners do no research before buying one. I guess they think they could just plug it into a random outlet in their house and it'll charge in just a few hours and you'd be on your way. And that's just not the case at all. Hyundai, Kia, Jeep, Nissan, Genesis, Infiniti are all garbage. Not so secretly hate my Mazda CX-50. My Wrangler has been the biggest piece of crap I've ever owned. But we'll go back to the comment talking about electric vehicles with this one.
Yeah, it's great. Get an electric car. Snow on the ground. I am charging my car at an apartment complex. I don't know where the f I'm at. But because when you turn the heat on in these pieces of cars, the mileage goes down. So now I started here at 98 miles. I'm here 25 minutes. It went up 1 mile. What a great investment this was. Sitting in the snow and the cold, watching my car charge. My neighbor finally caught on to me. But you know what? I'm going to his house right now. I'm going to try to outmaneuver him because this is insane.
I don't really know what you were expecting. The Hummer EV is a massive vehicle on top of you living somewhere that gets extremely cold. And electric car batteries, at least in today's world, are notoriously bad in cold climate. You leaving the car running with the heat on makes it so it's legitimately not giving you any extra charge. And I also wanted to add this comment: after numerous oil changes, engine work, and thousands of dollars spent on mechanical repair, I'll be going electric. Screw this gas crap. There's a good amount of the population that think that there's no maintenance done whatsoever on electric vehicles if you decide to purchase one. Yeah, you don't have to go in and do oil changes and lose $80, $100 a pop every few thousand miles, but it doesn't mean that there's not going to be any issues at all. We'll take a look at this a little bit later with some examples of the most unreliable vehicles this year, but we got another comment from you guys right here. These newer cars that are full of tech is one of the reasons for the poor reliability. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Here's another piece of advice for all of America from a 30-year technician. I've been a tech all my life since I was 18 years old. CAN bus systems, all these computer systems that are running in these cars are expensive to fix. They're hard as hell to fix. Don't sit there and bull a 30-year tech saying it's not hard to fix a CAN bus system. It's very difficult to fix these cars. You guys waste all your money on BMWs, Mercedes, and all these fancy cars that you don't need. You're only in your car for, I don't know, what, 30 minutes to an hour every freaking day of your life, and you're sitting there paying how much money for these cars? You need a Toyota Camry, Toyota Corolla, Hyundai freaking Elantra. You need something that's cheap. Honda. Don't buy Jeeps. Don't buy Dodge. And I'm not talking about the trucks. The trucks, every truck has its own problems, whether it's electrical, whether it's fuel or suspension or anything else. They all have their own freaking problems. You need to do some more research when you're buying these damn vehicles.
And I agree with that 100%, but there's a few more things. I'm not on board with buying a Hyundai right now. I'm pretty sure what he was trying to mean is just a cheap vehicle, like an older Honda or Toyota. They'll have less tech, less electronics, which means the maintenance bill won't cost nearly as much comparing to Mercedes-Benz or BMW. Of course, like I always say, if you truly have that kind of money and you could deal with all the maintenance, then go get whatever you want. But most of the people on the road today that have those vehicles can't genuinely afford it. And another good point is raised in the comment section. Even cheap brands nowadays like Hyundai are trying to be fancy and have so many electronics, so the prices for them have gone up, including the maintenance bill. This is all brands. But let's go over to a clip of somebody crashing out because they bought a Hyundai.
Honestly, and I mean full disrespect when I say this, Hyundai. I don't care, Hyundai, whatever you go by, you. Y'all knew your cars were faulty. Y'all knew it, and it's still on the market, and you're still selling it. And I get it. Maybe it's my fault. I live in Philadelphia, but the amount of times that every time, I swear to God, at least once a week, every time I come, there's something wrong with my car. People were saying, unbeknownst to me, people were saying not to buy Elantra, not to buy Hyundai cars because their cars suck. I didn't know that. I was just very excited to buy a car. I saved up money. I bought a car that I thought was good. I guess, I really should have did my research. I'm so tired. Like, I didn't know. Like, apparently there's like this faulty system and they're very easy to steal. The amount of times that my car windows have been smashed, the amount of times that people, like my fuse box have been tampered with. It's Halloween weekend. It's my niece's birthday, and I just want to spend time with my family.
I'm pretty sure Hyundais and Kias have a difficult time with that right now. A lot of them are easy to steal if you really wanted to. And I don't know where she lives in Philadelphia. I guess it might be a rougher area. That kind of puts a target on your vehicle for a lot more vandalism, let alone all of the problems that come with it. I remember an older clip of a mechanic showing the amount of full engines he had for these Hyundai vehicles that he had to put in, because that's how bad the reliability is right now. And we have another comment from you guys right here. There's so much information online on what vehicles are reliable and which aren't. It amazes me how many people buy unreliable vehicles and then are surprised when they suck. That's what I hope these videos help you guys out with. I know a majority of people out there aren't car guys and don't really care about vehicles whatsoever, and that's fine. But I think everybody needs to have some base level knowledge on what vehicles are good, what aren't, especially when you're signing up for $600, $800, $1,000 monthly payments for years on end. But we could transition a little bit more into the dream car segment and just having instant gratification, wanting the next thing over and over again, and how detrimental that could be to your bank account.
And the moment that new car feeling goes away, I'm ready to get another car.
And then people are surprised when we see clips of somebody having $50,000+ worth of negative equity because they just roll it into the next loan every few years. It seems like nobody wants to be content in their life. They always want bigger and better, even if they can't afford it. Here's another clip of somebody getting their dream car and it not actually being what they want.
I've had my dream car for about 4 months and I'm selling it today. Well, maybe I shouldn't say it's my dream car because literally right after I bought it, I realized I didn't really like it that much. And it was really crazy because you work so hard to get to a level where you can afford these things that you've always dreamed of. And as soon as I did, I realized it wasn't what I actually wanted. Anyway, this thing goes out today and hopefully in the next month, the new one will be coming in and I can't wait to show you guys what that one's gonna look like.
This is a perfect example of what I've already talked about and shown you guys before. Let's just use the example of the giant mom vehicles, the Suburbans, the Expeditions, the Escalades, the Yukons. You know exactly what I'm talking about. People will have one child and then think that they need to drive that school bus around that's $60, $80, $100,000+. It's their dream vehicle. It's all that they want. They end up getting a crazy loan to purchase it, and within a few years, there's a new version or a facelift model that looks a lot better. Then they start getting the itch that they want that one, not the one that they currently have, and the cycle happens every few years. Now we have the Dream Z06 with the car guy. C7 Z06s are like $60,000, $70,000 still. It's not like this thing is cheap, but within a few months he's sending it out and getting the new dream car. And I took a look at his page and surprise, surprise, it's a new BMW M3. This is just the new popular car that a lot of the influencers and the course seller guys love to drive around and flex on social media. And I can almost guarantee within a few years when something new comes out, this one will go out the door yet again and something else will take its place.
Is my car not running? No, I don't think so. Oh! Shut the f up.
So you have power for everything.
Yeah.
All your lights outside lighting up, your brake lights are coming on.
Yeah, everything's
everything. The starter just not engaging.
My car ended up being towed up to the service department for the Cadillac of Turnersville, New Jersey. This service department has been a nightmare, and I encourage you to view the playlist. I'll tag it with this video. I'm being told that my motor is locked, that it's blown, that it's no good. I have asked several times for proof that my motor was blown, something in writing, and the service department is refusing. To me, this is a red flag. I've also asked how this happens, and I still cannot get a straight answer. I'm just being told it happens. I've also asked how they tested my motor to prove that it was blown. They said they tested it. That's the only answers I will get. I also went up to the dealership to pick up the rental after a couple of days and to get my personal belongings out of the car. They disabled my car and would not unlock it for me or let me inside of it to get my personal belongings.
Okay, so definitely something shady happening with the dealership, not letting her get in her car along with no proof of the engine actually blowing. Even though if you've seen my older videos, this is a common problem that all of the GMCs are having right now. The Yukons, the Suburbans, the Escalades as well, even with the crazy price tag. I mean, you saw at the beginning of the video, $147,000 for this thing. I can't even imagine. So let alone the lack of reliability for such an expensive vehicle, you also have to deal with a pretty shady dealership. What a nightmare. But let's go to the other end of the spectrum, what you're supposed to buy. It's not like these are cheap either. Buying a 2025 RAV4.
Cool. Can you give me a sec?
Alan, we are so...
$656 for 7 years just for a RAV4. Who is taking out 7-year loans on a car now? Unfortunately, that's becoming more and more common. If you can't pay the car off in 3 to 5 years, then unfortunately you can't afford the car. Don't hate her, hate the inflation of car prices and the ridiculous things that dealerships add on top of sales. While I do agree with that, you still signed on the dotted line. Why are people normalizing a $600 car payment as something good or healthy? No sunroof? No way. Why would you do that? And even Toyota, the one that's supposed to be the most reliable, the newest vehicles coming out are starting to have their issues.
Dude, my freaking car, it is broke.
This is on a brand new 4Runner, by the way. These 6th gen 4Runners have quality and reliability issues, unfortunately. Buy a 5th gen 4Runner, thank me later. Former Toyota tech. She responds, yeah, I wish I would have known that before buying. Should have done my research. It's not going to help too much now. As a loyal Toyota driver, the new generation of Toyotas are trash. It's almost like everywhere you turn, you're just going to get burned. And we have a clip right here of a Tesla that's on screen. My cousin just got a dinosaur while showing the center iPad screen how slow and laggy it is. And I'm not specifically trying to pick on Teslas right now. This is what every vehicle is going to look like in the future. They all have these types of screens, and just like old computers, old laptops, they start slowing down with time, getting extremely laggy, basically being unusable. You don't think the exact same thing is going to happen with all of these vehicles? The entire secondhand market is going to look like a war zone, and all of the more reliable 90s, 2000s, early 2010 cars are going to start thinning out, so that's not going to be an option. So the only other thing you could do is to buy a brand new vehicle in 2035, 2040, when the MSRP is going to cost an arm and a leg. There's no winning in this situation. Nobody should be buying a Tesla that old. It's going to have so many problems. I feel like you could swap out Tesla with any other brand in this time period. What year? 2008. The future is not looking bright.
I'm back from the dealer. I got approved with Capital One. Okay. The first offer that they gave, they wanted me to get in this Honda that I didn't want. It had too many miles and it was like a 2017. And yeah, it just didn't make sense to me. So I found another one, and it was a Nissan Kicks 2020 with 49,000 miles. And the offer that they gave me was 1,000 down, and it was going to be 72 months, 25% NPR, whatever, $474 a month. I wanted to have warranty. The warranty that they were offering me was $3,000 and $3,070. There was like add-ons of 1,000, and someone on here, they're like, help me and stuff. So yeah, he told me that that was not a good deal. I don't know. The loan was going to be $19,000, right?
Okay, let's do some quick math. $474 for 72 months is over $34,000 for a Nissan Kick. Add in the $1,000 down payment, so over 35 grand without the insurance or maintenance. She had an offer for 25% APR. Oh man. But she didn't want to get that old 2017 Civic. That was terrible, right? A 2025 Nissan Kick MSRP is $21,830. And she would have paid over 35 grand for a used one with 50,000 miles. Now, luckily, she said she was going to think about it, and she ended up making this video, which turned into a whole ton of comments of people telling her not to do it. So she didn't. Don't get a Nissan Kicks. Almost any Honda is better. 25% APR is insane. Get a scooter. 25%. Please don't do that ever. So I'm glad that at least she dodged a bullet, but in this next clip, I don't think this person was so lucky.
I have a 2025 Nissan Versa financed through Santander. The car has 12,877 miles, nothing mechanically or cosmetically wrong with it. I got a cash card from my mom, so I just really don't want to have a car note anymore. It's a great, reliable car. The problem is I owe more on it than it's worth. I owe $22,000. So if anyone's interested in a new car or know anyone is interested, can you please share the word?
A 2025 Nissan Versa starts at an MSRP of $17,390, and she owes over $22,000 trying to get rid of this thing. Nobody is going to buy this, or she's going to take a pretty hefty loss. Here's another one, a notoriously bad brand, the Range Rovers.
This is a sign that if you ever want to get a Range Rover, just don't get it. Just get a Benz, because this car gives me so many issues. Like, I'm literally pressing the key fob to open the door, and only the back handle opened up. And it's not even opening up my car. Like, I'm so irritated. Like, this literally is the worst car. Now I have to tow it back to Land Rover.
And if I really wanted to, we could have made an entire video just about this brand. Another one day your husband's going to take you to the Range Rover dealership. You're going to buy a brand new car. It'll end up being a lemon. I know so many people love the cars, especially the Land Rovers, because of the way it looks. And I agree, it's a nice looking SUV. I would never own one, but regardless, people are lining up, signing on the dotted line, and then dealing with these consequences. Why do people keep buying these? Range Rovers have been consistently ranked the most unreliable car manufacturer. And it's not like these are cheap vehicles either. They're very expensive.
I'm currently in a 24 Grand Cherokee 4xe, and I've been having a significant amount of problems. I'm sure you've heard about all of the recalls that have gone on. There were 3. 1 was taken care of. 2 are active where I can't use the electric function really at all. The recall is saying you shouldn't charge the battery. It could catch fire. I ordered a fob from the dealership like 7 months ago. It's still not in. I was having like multiple issues. Is that something that I should try and go to the dealership and kind of figure out with them? Because I got the 70th anniversary, which I'm regretting because it's like $660 a month. I don't want to do something now and roll negative equity into my next lease.
So what's your question? To go to the dealership to talk to them about what?
At this point, with the 2 open recalls, I almost feel unsafe. The car could catch fire.
Yeah, so common misunderstanding. The dealership has nothing to do with this, right? It's not their car. They've sold it to
So it's
the
actually
bank.
Jeep.
Who are you making your payments to?
I believe it's the direct cancel.
So your first step would be to call or corporate.
Okay.
It's the same thing as if you would to walk into a random dealer and talk to them about it. They'd be like, dude, this isn't our car. We have nothing to do with this. Go talk to Jeep.
All right, so because you bought this thing that's a hunk of junk, you're legitimately worried about it catching fire if you use it. They're going to make you run around in circles going to the dealership. It's not their problem. Then you got to talk to the bank with the loan. Then you got to go straight over to Jeep to try to be able to resolve this problem that so many people are having right now.
I am so tired of having this Wrangler. The engine light is on, so I can't auto start my truck. The dashboard is completely black, so I can't use my backup camera. I can't use my radio. This is a brand new Jeep, and when I tell you every 6 months it's something, I can't take it.
Jeeps have been garbage. People buying them now just to put rubber ducks on the dash. Just empty every pocket. That's what Jeep stands for. But let's finish off this video with some of the most unreliable vehicles of 2025.
These are the 12 most unreliable cars and SUVs of 2025. Number 12 is the 2025 Tesla Model Y, which has a JD Power Reliability score of 69 out of 100. Number 11 is the 2025 Rivian R1T, which also has a JD Power Reliability score of 69 out of 100. Number 10 is the 2025 Lincoln Nautilus, which has a JD Power Reliability score of 69 out of 100 as well. Number 9 is the 2025 Alfa Romeo Tonale, which has a JD Power Reliability score of 68 out of 100. Number 8 is the 2025 Audi Q7, and that has a JD Power Reliability score also of 68 out of 100. Number 7 is the 2025 Audi Q4 e-tron, and that has a JD Power Reliability score of 67 out of 100. Number 6 is the 2025 Volvo V60, and that has a JD Power Reliability score of 67 out of 100 as well. Number 5 is the 2025 Dodge Hornet, and that has a JD Power Reliability score of 66 out of 100. Number 4 is the 2025 Mazda CX-90, that has a JD Power Reliability score of 65 out of 100. Number 3 is the 2025 Polestar 2, and that has a JD Power Reliability score of 65 out of 100. Number 2 is the 2025 BMW X1 with a JD Power Reliability score of 63 out of 100. And the number 1 most unreliable vehicle of 2025, according to US News and World Report, is the 2025 Cadillac Lyriq with a JD Power Reliability score of 53 out of 100.
So it was basically dead even between both gas and electric vehicles for the worst thing that you could possibly buy. A lot of the brands and manufacturers that we've already talked about in this video, and it's something you need to be aware of before you buy anything new.
Here is your reminder, if you are wanting to buy a GMC Yukon Denali, don't do it, because I got in my car ready to take my kids to school and it won't start.
Well, I just got my 2021 Palisade back for the 8th time since June. My 2021 Palisade now has a brand new engine, a brand new alternator, a brand new radiator twice, a brand new heater core, brand new transmission, all done in the last 5 months. It has been such an experience.
Alright, if anybody is out there looking to purchase the new 2026 Chevy Equinox, I would advise to not do it. I just bought a car less than 24 days ago for the Labor Day sale, and it's currently been in the shop twice. And I got a call yesterday saying there is now an engine problem and a computer problem. So honestly, if you don't know, never buy a Chevy Equinox. Don't do it.
Okay, so I'm gonna cut it off there. You guys get the gist. We could truly sit here for hours with example after example of these cars just being a horror show. However, the last couple examples with the Equinox I thought was particularly interesting. We can go over to the comment section. 2 engines later, I still have this terrible car. I had 2 of them and they were awful. Why did you get the second one if the first one was already terrible? Yeah, we had one that went through 2 engines because they kept burning oil. We're seeing the same comments from different users over and over again. I mean, another one up on screen right now of a Buick Enclave having transmission issues, even though it's basically brand new. But especially when we're talking about the SUVs, this is what gets people all the time. We'll go over to the description. Point me to the best mom car. I'm sick. Trading it in immediately. Having a brand new mom car to show off to everybody else is the latest flex that we're seeing. And because of that, people are making some pretty poor choices when it comes to vehicles. I asked you guys in the comments, do you know someone who regrets buying their vehicle? I know someone who replaced their work truck with a 2025 full-size Chevy pickup. His payments were over $1,000 a month and it was $81,000. It was in the shop 3 times the first 10 days. His loan term was 6 years, and before he made the second payment, he told his friends he was so sorry he jumped into this. And as we're going to see a little bit later, 6 years is extremely common. People are pushing it out to 7 and 8 years now, but it being in the shop 3 times before the second car payment of $1,000 without insurance is paid, I honestly don't know what I would do. I'm just glad I'm not in that position.
What is one bad financial decision that you regret making in life?
Probably buying a new car after I just finished nursing school. That was like kind of like I shouldn't have did that.
How's that a bad financial decision?
Because I still was like getting adjusted to my career and like, you know, still like trying to figure things out. And then I still had another car that I was still paying on. So it's like, why would I jump up and buy another one? You know, that's everything.
Yeah, you got it like as a gift to yourself?
Yeah, basically for like all my hard work, you know.
Yeah. What's that car payment looking like?
For the first one, it's like $460. And then the second one is $760 something, almost $770.
Wait, so you spent on both car notes?
I'm paying on both. Yeah.
Plus insurance, that's like over $1,500 for 2 cars, huh?
Yeah. So it was a bad decision, to be honest, but.
Damn.
Your first vehicle wasn't even paid off, and after insurance you were paying $500 a month for that. But then as a gift to yourself, you decided to tack on an extra $700 a month for a second one. It's very interesting that a lot of people reward themselves with a financial burden, which just adds more stress into their life overall when they've already just gone through a stressful time, going through nursing school, finally getting a job. I feel like one of the goals to making a lot of money and having a sizable amount of wealth is to take off as much stress from your life as humanly possible. But I guess some people just do the opposite. $1,500 but not hitting 6 figures, that's insane. Sell the other car. Another comment from one of you guys, my mother bought a 2013 Ford Escape for $7,000. And that year she dropped $25,000 to fix it? At what point would you think to just scrap it and buy something else if you're putting that much money into it? The whole time I've been telling her to sell it. Even the first day she got it, I said to take it back. I'm still screaming. It's in the shop right now and has been in the shop more than we've had the car. And the $25,000 that it cost to repair doesn't even cover all the rental costs because Ford doesn't give you a loaner car. I am pretty sure that that model of Ford Escape has a lot of issues, so I guess that meant that there was no research done before it, and because of that you spent almost 4 times the price of the car just trying to fix it to be able to drive on the road. Wow.
Okay, we're going to talk about car payments. Get ready. Okay, so my car payment currently is $1,100 a month. I know, it's very scary, and I wish I was joking. But once upon a time, I was young and dumb, and I was part of very irresponsible decisions. And now I'm literally paying the price. So anyways, I have a 2024 Toyota Highlander, which I absolutely love. No complaints there. It's just obviously the price. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just stuck.
All right, so there were a few things there. She said she was young and dumb, and in the past she made poor financial decisions, but then goes into saying that she had a 2024 Highlander. So this kind of just happened. We're still in 2025, right? Let alone the fact that you are paying $1,100 a month for a Toyota Highlander. I'm not saying overall the vehicle is bad, but that price for a Toyota still just seems crazy to me. Again, does not count insurance, so it's even more. But I mean, Toyota is pretty popular right now, so the negative equity might be minimal, but no matter what, you still are going to lose money if you do try to trade out of it. I don't know. I still can't get over the fact that a Highlander is now $1,100 a month. Another comment from you guys. My finance friend bought a slightly used Mercedes sedan. Very soon found out it was a money pit in terms of fuel and expensive repairs. The motor for the side mirrors folding automatically cost $3,000. He then bought a new Hyundai Tucson, and recently the engine exploded. Crankshaft and piston. So this guy is batting 0 for 2 right now. But keeping on the subject of Mercedes, we have this clip that is a picture perfect example of somebody buying a vehicle just for the badge on the front and back.
Yeah, it's a front wheel drive A-Class with no options, 98,000 miles. It doesn't even have premium package.
I didn't see it on there, no.
Well, this is not much redeeming about this particular car. Yeah, literally zero options. This car had an MSRP of $35,090. Hard to believe.
Yeah, that's insane.
But you know, the A-Class being the entry-level car and front-wheel drive, so no charge for 4MATIC.
Right.
And not a single option. 17-inch wheels, no premium package, so it's got the little tiny screens.
Yeah.
And it's worth $7,500. I mean, it's got a bad Carfax to top it all off.
It's a 12.5 negative.
A lot of damage on it.
She's hoping to be around $700 a month on something new, but we gotta roll $12,500 into something.
Well, yeah, so that's about, what, $400 a month in negative?
All just to be able to drive that Mercedes, right? Still being upside down $12,500 in a car that's only worth $7,500, but that's what happens when you buy the basic entry model vehicle with zero options. And even with vehicles getting more and more expensive nowadays, you could have taken that $35,000 MSRP and most likely gotten some other sedan, maybe even slightly used, with a lot more features and reliability. I'd rather have a fully loaded Camry than a bare bones Benz. There you go. She bought a car with no features for the badge. How on earth are people so upside down in vehicles? Well, this particular one, how many times have you even seen A-Class on the road? Nobody really wants these things in the first place, so if you do buy it, the secondhand market is going to be brutal. On top of it, of course, still being a luxury brand, they depreciate faster. Another comment from you guys, I worked at a nationwide rental car company. Rented all kinds of cars, and all the different Jeeps, Wagoneers, Wranglers, Gladiators were by far the most returned via tow truck compared to all of the other cars that we rented. So I think this is a good segue to some of the clips that I still see from dealerships trying to sell these onto you.
Just took in a 2024 392 Rubicon, has 2,000 miles on it, gonna be selling it for around 82,000. Let me know if you're interested.
$82,000 for a Jeep Wrangler. And I know it's got the bigger engine in it, but we could go straight over to the comments section. The first one is people laughing. Is that in Turkish lira or US dollars? You could keep it. $20,000 best I could do. How much are you selling that $45,000 Jeep for? But it's red and way overpriced. What's going on? How much will it be in a year when you still have it? I love seeing these videos pop up on my For You page because I immediately go over to the comments because they're so funny. We could just keep going on with another example here.
People are saying this vehicle right here absolutely kills the Toyota RAV4. Let's check it out. So here it is. This is the 2026 GMC Acadia Elevation.
That's literally all we have to see for the rest of that clip. We could cut it off right there. We could see the screenshot with 42 likes on this TikTok and 236 comments. You could probably take a wild guess and see where this is going. I'll take a Toyota over a GMC every day. You can't beat the reliability of a Toyota. Only GMC dealers say this. The Acadia is terrible. You're kidding, right? No mechanic is ever saying this. RAV4 is crushing that. And another comment from you guys here talking about Toyota. I regret buying a RAV4 hybrid, not because of the car, but because of the markups. So with it being more known that Toyotas have better reliability compared to the Acadia that we just saw, we're still seeing outrageous prices in 2025. I mean, here's a RAV4 clip.
Over
over $49,000 for a Toyota RAV4. I can't believe that a Toyota RAV4 can even cost this much, and they're going to keep selling them, but they have much. I mean, they start in the 30s. So to see one go up $20,000 because of leather and maybe a hybrid system or something, that's insane, man. That is insane. Then you got to deal with the Gulf State add-ons. It's just a complete mess right now.
So does that look like it's worth $50,000 to you? I don't think so. The markups on top of it being fully loaded still must be insane, because I'm pretty sure the last time I looked it up, if you get the hybrid top trim model, it's around $40,000 or $42,000, marked up all the way to $50,000, and dealerships still have the nerve to do it because the brand is so popular right now. And something I wanted to add into this video does depend on what state you live in, but it's not just the monthly car payments and the insurance and the maintenance and gas. You might also have to pay a yearly tax just to be able to drive around in your vehicle.
I live in Virginia, and in Virginia, even if you own your vehicle, you still have to pay taxes on it every single year. It's called personal property taxes, and it can affect your cars, trailers that you have, campers, RVs, boats, anything along the lines of that. Even though you pay taxes on it when you purchase it, you are still going to pay taxes on it every single year, even if it's paid off. So let's review our bill because it just came in the mail yesterday. The way it works is the county gets an assessed value for your item. So whether that's your car, camper, whatever it is, they give you an assessed value. And then there is a rate per $100 that you pay. This year's rate is $2.35 per $100 of the piece of property that you own. And then they charge you per month that you own that item. So if you had your car for 12 months, they're going to charge you for 12 months. If you owned it for 6 months and then got a different car, they'll charge you for the first 6 months for the first car and then the second 6 months for the second car. But for us to own our personal property in the state of Virginia this year, $2,104.45 is what we have to pay to the county right before Christmas time.
So I could add on to that with my personal experience. I used to live in New Jersey, and moving down to North Carolina, we also have to do this as well. Of course, the bill would be lower if you have an older vehicle that's valued less than a brand new SUV, but that could be just one of the added on expenses to buying a brand new Denali Yukon, right? Some of the comments, Virginia would tax the air you exhale if they could find a way to meter it. So yeah, if you are looking into moving to another state, you have to look at rules like this. Even if you completely outright own your vehicles, you still might have to pay a yearly tax. Now this next clip, I could see into the future. If anybody ever purchases this vehicle, they would probably instantly regret it.
This is absolutely crazy. This is a 2015 Chevy Cruz LT, 86,000 miles, $12,000. You literally could have bought this new. We're very close to that price. And I'm looking at this interior, like, this looks really clean. And then I go to sit down. Like, what? How is the foam disintegrated? Like, that right there, it's metal. Can you imagine spending $12,000 on a car? The driver's seat is so clapped out that you cannot sit in it properly. I feel like I'm sunk into the seat, and then I got a stabbing metal piece in my back. Like, that's the way you want to buy a car.
For $12,000 as well for a Chevy Cruz, 86,000 miles? I have a 2015 Civic, and for around that price, you could get similar mileage, and at least you're in a Honda Civic, something reliable, and will also hopefully not have an absolutely destroyed driver's seat. I really don't know what dealers are thinking when they decide to put this out on the lot, and then they're surprised that it just never sells. It just sits there gathering dust. My Cruz was the worst car I've ever had, a 2013. It's worth $2,500. Yeah, I'm not paying that for a 2015 Chevy. Never buy one of those. Legit, mine was the worst car ever. Nothing but coolant leaks, oil leaks, everything. $1,900 tops, and they're trying to get 6 times that. It really is just baffling to me, but we could go over to what I'm starting to see the term lengths being stretched out to in 2025.
This is insane. 7-year car loans are everywhere now. A shocking 22.4% of new car buyers are signing up for 84-month or longer loans, and 36.1% are going with 6-year terms. People are stretching payments longer and longer in order to afford new cars that now average about $50,000, and it sounds doable until you see the fallout. Nearly 1 in 5 buyers are paying over $1,000 a month, and negative equity on trade-ins hit 26.6%, with the average underwater balance roughly $6,754. Now, sure, longer terms lower monthly payments, but they also cost you way more over time. The extra interest on an 84-month loan can add up to thousands compared with a 5-year term, and negative equity locks you into a cycle where you keep rolling debt into the next car. That affordable monthly payment can become a lifelong trap if life ever changes for you.
And that's when it starts becoming very difficult when you do realize that you regret your purchase. You shouldn't have gotten the $60,000 Wrangler. Or to be honest, most modern vehicles today. The depreciation hits the car immediately, so even if you try to trade it in a year or two later, you're most likely going to be a part of the statistics with heavy negative equity. And something to add on top of this with the comment section, the engines and transmissions aren't even making it 5 years.
What is one bad financial decision that you regret making in life?
Getting my dream car.
Getting your dream car?
Yeah.
What was your dream car?
A 2025 M3 G80.
Oh yeah, you got that car?
Yeah, look.
Wait, hold on. Why'd you get it?
Why? That's always been my dream car since a kid.
I know, but like, did you like the motor? Did you like how it drives? Did you like BMWs or?
I like the interior. I like how it drives, so smooth. Like the way it is, like it looks mean.
Yeah, you've always been into like German engineering?
Yeah, I was into cars since my young age. My dad always showed me cars, and I fixed like cars with him.
Yeah.
Since I always wanted cars.
Okay, I feel that. What's that monthly payment looking like?
So right now I'm paying $1,300.
$1,300 a month?
Yeah.
Without insurance?
With is $1,600.
$1,600?
Yeah, sir.
Is it worth it? He said.
So what I got out of that clip is he's paying $1,600 a month to look cool. The interviewer was even trying to throw him softballs, but all he said is that he fixed cars and he was into cars as a kid. But ever since he was young, his dream car was a 2025 M3. Did he see into the future and know exactly what was going to come out? I don't think so. He didn't talk about any of the older M3s, the E30, E46, E90 maybe. Magically, the G80 is his dream car, huh? He really liked the way the interior looked as well. I mean, at the end of the day, you could do whatever you want with your money, but $1,600 a month, I think he even knows deep down that it's not worth it.
So as you know, the new 6.2 liter L87 engine has a recall for the engine's locking up, loss of propulsion. And this vehicle had this recall done less than 1,000 miles ago. Had the 040 oil updated, new oil cap, and here we have an oil sample. Hold this. The engine has failed in under 1,000 miles of having that recall done. So the 040 is not the fix. The 020 oil isn't the problem. The rod bearings inside these engines are what's the issue.
So imagine buying a pickup truck, having a whole bunch of problems, going through a recall, everything apparently being fixed, and within 1,000 miles, the engine fails. I don't know about you, but I'd regret my purchase pretty heavily. I swear, every time I think about buying a new vehicle, I could just make another one of these videos and just stay as far away from these problems as I possibly can.
I have a 2022 Kia K5 GT line with 22,700 miles. I bought for $34,000. I pay $634.98 a month. My interest rate is 11.49%, and my car insurance is $155 a month. I made a bad financial decision based off of needing a car for my work. My credit is a 630. I tried refinancing with Navy Fed, but they denied me. Trading it in if possible, or should I lease? I've been denied before, but I'm not giving up. What should I do? I have a 630 credit score, and Navy Fed denied you. It's probably because of the loan to value is just way out there, meaning that the car is worth 20, you owe 32. You got to put down a negative equity or that difference.
But again, another one of the examples who has $12,000 to get out from being underwater on these vehicles. Not many people. So you just get completely stuck or try to trade it in with the negative equity rolling into the next vehicle. And I mean, if you pick something that likes to depreciate very quickly, that cycle just continues. But we'll keep on the subject of Kias with this next clip.
You guys told me don't get a Kia. Told me don't get a Kia. What did I do? I got a Kia. I got the 2024 Kia Telluride. This thing's not cheap, but I like the way that it looked. We have some friends who have it. They love it. I said, screw the negative public opinion. I'm just gonna go for it. I've had the car maybe 2 months. Month 1, the passenger door handle falls off. Sorry, it doesn't fall off. It was hanging by a wire. I chalked it up as a random defect. They fixed it quickly, no problem. A week later, I'm driving and suddenly my entire dash lights up. My speedometer stops working. So no matter how fast I'm going, it says 0. The lights on my shift don't work, so I don't know if I'm in park or in drive. It also doesn't change on the dash. Lose power steering, so the car becomes very heavy. And then it'll fix itself, sometimes after 5 minutes, sometimes after 2 hours.
Okay, so I'm cutting off this video here because it is only a quarter of the way done. But especially in the past 5 years since COVID, when the new Telluride came out, people liked the way it looked and it got very popular. But unfortunately, it is not very reliable. She ended up not listening to all the issues she probably heard about online, and now she has to deal with it herself. And I know a lot of the videos that we go over are normal everyday people, right? They're just sharing their personal experiences. But we could go over to the next clip with a mechanic telling us what vehicles we shouldn't buy. Somebody who does this for a living.
Every single customer that I have worked on has said, I regret buying these. I will never, ever buy another one. The first one is 2012 to 2022 Buick Encore with the 1.4 liter Ecotec turbo. So now we're going to move on to SUV number 2. It is the 2006 to 2017 Jeep Patriot or Compass. I know there's a lot of Jeep guys out there that are really into Jeeps, but these ones are not the ones to buy. They're very unreliable and they don't age well. Now, SUV number 3 is going to be any of the Ford Expedition or Excursion with the 5.4...
What? The 5.4 3-valve? No way!
Yes, that one, guys. Now, the fourth SUV, Mrs. Wizard and I have actually had one before, but it wasn't for very long before we got rid of it. 2006 to 2010 Jeep Commander. Do you remember that one, Mrs. Wizard?
Oh yeah, that thing was terrible. It rained on top of us. Literally on top of us.
Yes, it was really bad. SUV number 5 is 2001 to 2008 Chevy Trailblazer. Yes, those Trailblazers. And SUV number 6, which you guys already know about, is any Chevy Traverse, GMC Acadia, or Buick Enclave. Don't buy any of them. You say, well, which years are the worst? I would say all of them.
And unfortunately, we've seen examples of people buying that or the dealer trying to sell you on the new Acadia earlier in this video. But this clip is much longer, going into detail with each one of these SUVs. So it's not just random people with one-off stories saying that you shouldn't buy this or shouldn't buy that. This is somebody who dedicates their entire life, their entire career is dealing with fixing these types of vehicles. So I don't know about you, but I would stay away from these like it's the plague. But up next, we could go over the calculations on how much you should be making if you want to buy a brand new Honda CR-V.
Let's see how much you need to make to comfortably afford a 2026 Honda CR-V. So the model option we went with was the CR-V all-wheel drive EX, and the total price for this came out to be right around $36,000. However, when you multiply by some percent sales tax, you get a brand new total of around $39,000. After taking the final cost of the vehicle, adding 20% down, finance at 5% for a total of 60 months, you're left with a total monthly payment of around $590 a month. The typical average insurance cost for a Honda CR-V is going to be right around $2,000 a year, so it's roughly going to be around $169 a month. However, insurance is going to vary for everyone. The average annual maintenance cost on a Honda CR-V is going to be between $400 to $500, and this speaks volumes on Honda's reliability, so that's roughly going to be around $33 a month if you were to budget this out. And after we add everything up together, we're left with a total monthly payment of around $793 a month. And if you were to multiply this by 10%, you'll find your monthly gross income, then multiply this by 12 to find your annual gross income. And you roughly should be making around $95,000 a year to be able to very comfortably afford a 2026 Honda CR-V all-wheel drive EX.
And I don't think that happens much at all in the real world. When people start hitting that six-figure mark, they immediately start going to the luxury dealerships. I'm gonna get a GLC 350. I'm not buying a Honda, I need to go get something luxurious. They stretch their budget too much, overspending, and if anything goes wrong in their life, an emergency, maybe they get laid off, that's how the repo man finds your car. But we're gonna finish off this video on a little bit of a positive note.
So almost a year ago, we got rid of our brand spanking new third row SUV car that was amazing. It had all of the features, all of the things, and we got rid of it for a car that is 20 years old, has over 100,000 miles, and has no car payment. And let me just tell you, there has been not one moment in this last year that I have ever regretted: one, not having a car payment, two, missing any of those nice features that came with that car. Like, I love my 20-year-old car so much. It is quite literally become my dream car, because it just is like one less thing that I have to think about and worry about and stress about every month when I'm making my car payment.
And that's what I said earlier in the video. I feel like the less financial stress you could put on your life, the better life you'll have. I guess that's not the sentiment for most people. They just want to have nice fancy things to show off to other people, but not being stressed out about the bills that come in every month or not having car payments or bills at all is definitely something that I would like more instead of a brand new GLS or something like that. But that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.